Hello, hope you're doing well. Well, excuse my crappy camera quality, but today's announcement is quite important. I have launched a newsletter, and today is the first video where I'm going to explain um, whatever I've written in this newsletter. So there will be entries um, probably each week or semi weekly. I'm not certain about that yet, but I've already posted like um, two entries in the newsletter. So hopefully you can go subscribe. It's newsletter.betterlancer.com. So let's show you just a quick thing. Yeah, excuse me. I've been having like a lot of messages disturb my recording. I don't like this. Anyway, um, today's topic is how to find your first freelance client. And this is quite an important topic in my opinion because this is where a lot of people get stuck. And if they don't like if they don't overcome this challenge, they'll never start freelancing. So, how do you find your first freelance client? Well, let me tell you this. There are three building blocks of getting your first freelancing client or of freelancing in general. There is your skills and your competences. There are your proposals and there is your profile and portfolio. Let me explain the drawing. So this is what usually happens. So you are here, you are the freelancer, this F here, put here the C as, for example, client. Let's go with the red line. So your skills and competences allow you to understand the client's problem. So now you understand what he needs. And this will allow you to give him a solution. And this solution is communicated using your proposal. So this is your proposal. This one. That is your proposal. So the client will first see your proposal, then he will understand your solution. If he finds it interesting, what will he do? He will go to your profile and he will check your profile. So, this is the first thing, your proposal. Second thing is your profile. And the third thing is your skills that allow you to provide a solution for said problem. Skills and competences are quite simple to explain and understand. It's what you know. What is your added value in the market? What do you know that is so valuable that you want to offer it as a freelancer? Of course, that okay. Now you know a skill, you know general skill. Let's say web development, or I don't know, logo development, or excuse me, logo design. You need to choose a niche, and this niche will allow you to like um, have like a very specific set of clients you work with. Because let's say, excuse the very like messy design. Let's say there are three clients. Two of them have like a general problem. They just say, well, I want just a logo, for example, or I just want a web app. The competition will be very high for this client. But let's say the client knows exactly what he wants. He wants a specific logo for, let's say, a software, for example, desktop software, or let's say he wants um, a web assembly application. Just an example. WebAssembly is quite like a niche, a very specific niche, and all of these like web developers who are general, they won't be bothering this client, so you have like a higher chance of getting this job. Let's just take this drawing, for example. In this general problem, you have one out of four. Your chances are one out of four. But in this one, you are only one person who proposed, who did like a proposal. So you have like one out of one, which is like nearly, which is 100%. This one is like 25% chance of being chosen, but this one is 100% because you're the only one who wrote a proposal to the client. The second aspect of getting a job is getting down your proposals, messages, and meetings. So you need to get everything to like a level where you don't have a problem in this part of like the three building blocks, especially in the proposals. In the proposals, I'm just gonna say two most important things. Is the first thing is you do not write about yourself. The client does not care about who you are. Let me just make the camera a little bit bigger so that I can emphasize this point. The client doesn't care who you are. I don't, as a client, I don't care who you are, what you do, what you studied, what I do not care. I have a problem in mind and I want a solution. I do not care what you do for life or for whatever you do in your business things. The client is there to get their problem solved, not to get to know a new person. He has enough people sending him proposals, so he doesn't need to know you. He wants to know whether you have a solution for his problem. And then comes the knowing you part. Once he decides that he wants to work with you, well, then you can say, well, I am a software engineer, I did this and did that. But initially, the client wants a solution for his problem. He doesn't want to know a new person. This is not a meeting app, this is a professional working app. He has a problem, he wants a solution. And of course, do not write long proposals. It's either write a very like a sophisticated, interesting proposal that is long, or just write short proposals. There is no in between. If you are in the in between part and you're not getting jobs, well, now you know why. Of course, messages, simple. They just have to be professional. Do not joke. Do not write puns. Do not be like some egotistical idiot who thinks he is above the client because you know, like React or some bullshit like that. You and the client are on the same level. Of course, this goes as well for the client. The client is not above you. He is not. You don't work for the client. You work with the client. So yeah, obviously. And of course, online meetings. I think this is like a very important point. I'm not gonna discuss this a lot, but you need to read this one. Pause the video, read it. This is the best thing I could say. Online meetings are super important. You need to have like good video quality, good audio quality. I hope this audio quality is good. I usually put the microphone here so that my voice is quite audible, but I'm putting it on the table just for no reason, absolutely. The final building block is the profile. So the profile is quite something that a lot of people get wrong. It's super simple, but a lot of people get it wrong. Um, Basically, you need to have a professional picture because let's say, for example, in Upwork, what the client sees is your picture, your title, your name, and the very short part or the start of your description or the start of your profile, profile description, or the start of your proposal. So you need to have these four things down. Like the first paragraph of your profile should be super interesting and gets to the point. Talks about what you can do for clients in general. Say, uh, develops business specific or customizable business application. This is like an average line, but it's better than starting with I am AZ, I do this, I do that. No, that's kind of boring. Nobody cares about that. Of course, you have to show also your previous experiences because once the client enters your profile, he wants to see something professional, obviously. That's why it's called profiles, professional file. Uh, the more you know, I guess. Okay, now this is the part where a lot of people find it quite controversial. So let's say you did the basics, you have the three basics down. Now what you should do? I'm gonna start with the last one, which is discounted work. So if you want to get work, don't say to the client, "I'm gonna make it cheap because you're my first client." Don't word it that way. Just say, "I'm gonna give you a 20% discount, a 30% discount, but please do not go below that, and please do not destroy the reputation of your market. Let's say you're a web developer. Don't do work for like $5 or something. Please don't. Like have some dignity at least." Yeah, I see. I went on a rant there. Anyway, do this only for your first 2 to 3 clients, just so you can get like the work, and then you start charging more. This is actually the topic for my next for the next one. So this is how to estimate a project's cost. So if you want to know how to estimate your project's cost, read that article. It's gonna be interesting. And the last one will be published on the 25th, the third entry, which will be more interesting. So technically tomorrow. So yeah. So this counted work is quite obvious. Personal projects. So this one is just to fill your portfolio. This is not something you do because you want to, I don't know. It's just a good thing. This line summarizes it quite well. Personal projects can be a great way of advancing your skills. That's basically it. They don't do anything more, nothing less. They're good for portfolios, especially if you do something like a little bit complex, like where you have, let's say, you work on backend. You create an API with all the trendy things like a CQRS, um, CQRS, yeah, command query segregation principle, or whatever, separation things. You know the cool trendy words. I don't know. I don't remember the abbreviation, but excuse me. But use all those trendy things in your work. As well, what else can we say? Yeah, we get to the controversial part. So, free work. Free work is quite important because this gets you as close as possible to real world experience. Because you're working on a real world project, because let's say your family member or a charity, they need something. So you work with them. It's practically freelance work, but for free. And of course, you can also work on open source projects. This is also kind of a free work. So these three things, why I kind of recommend free work is you get experience. I mean, it's very, very hard for somebody with no projects in their portfolio to get uh, a chance by client, to be given a chance. Nobody will give you a chance, honestly, because clients really want people who know what they're doing. So I feel like free work is as close as it gets to like real freelance work. So they will give you the experience, and also it will give you something to put in your portfolio. So the next time you do create a proposal and give it to a client, they they won't have any problem working with you. So yeah, this is it for this. Of course, um, please read the full article and subscribe as well. So yeah, hope you're all doing well, and see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. And please don't forget, free Palestine.